for today. This week, Friday, next week, Friday, I will take over the stream. Maxim, founder of Santiment. It will be a bit differently structured. For me, it's most of the time spontaneously or whatever I consider to be important in the market. And today we will look into following things. One will be macroeconomic overview. Well, not overview. We cannot review the whole macroeconomic things, but few key important data points and metrics. Then we'll go a little bit on a lower level or shorter time frame. As always, not investment advice, but just how I see or plan the market for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and we'll mention a few altcoins we're personally interested in. Explain why, maybe. I expect we will maybe cover up part which is coming from my side, maybe even 20 minutes, so you might have more time for your questions. But we will see. I have sometimes tendency, if I like some topic, to go into details a bit longer than expected. So to start with macroeconomic, there is one chart which rules them all, and I don't know if everyone's aware of, namely this one. It's ultimate alpha or leading indicator, US Treasury 10-year bills. You can also use German 10-year bonds. It's inversed. So in yields, US yields exactly as you say. So from somewhere 2020, we went as close to zero as possible. And then ever since we grew. And at some point of time, Fed had to react. This is how they usually work. They wait for trend to be established here. Sometimes they wait 6 months, sometimes even 1 year. And then they start reacting. So as long as this thing is growing, how market perceived 10-year yields should be go up and down, Fed must react, will react, always has been reacting. And as people say that Fed impacts the market, but Fed himself react or impacted by this on the chart. And from what, well, I would say from what I know about price structures, we are not really finished yet on the way up. And well, especially here, if you look, there was some kind of resistance, 3.1, 3.2%. But not only resistance, it's just a general price structure looks not finished. So we might, or I would expect it to eventually pick up somewhere 5 or 6%, which is substantial and quite a way to go up. But it's a long term. You see, it's a daily chart. And you see here months or years. And if you ask ourselves, okay, if the yield or inflation, this yield is a kind of like inflation, still to grow, and Fed will have to react. It means increase rate hikes. How market will react? Well, this is an open question. Probably 1 or 2 times more, it will be jerk reaction going down, and then eventually it will change. Like all correlations in market will change. But coming out of this conversation, I think we should still be aware that there is a good chance to revisit the lows, both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, this is a midterm message, or mid to long term. But for now, for short term, I don't think it will happen now, just because of a few other things we've been observing. And let's switch back to, let's say we start with Ethereum. And generally, when we talk about crypto markets, we like to cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, both on-chain social metrics, or I like to analyze it. And then some stablecoin behavior. Maybe this week we'll not touch much about stablecoin behavior, just simply because I did not spend time analyzing it last few days. Maybe we'll cover it next week. And Bitcoin, Ethereum has enough of interesting data. Important thing is, and actually the main reason why I think we're not done yet on the way a little bit up, or it can be more up, there is a specific way and we know it for a long time, how especially Ethereum-based, Ethereum itself, coins are topping up. There is a specific pattern, and of course, it doesn't work 100% of time, but it works like 90% of time. So I prefer to look for it. And you can see it just from this chart alone, but it reflects on other charts too. There will be divergence, like network activity. Once we get to the top point, like this area, yeah, this area, the network activity will start freezing, going down. And it has very good explanation, because suddenly, before that, there was concerns, disbelief, doubts, yeah, like we have now in the Ethereum market. And at some point of time, suddenly it flips. Retail beliefs, institutional beliefs, FOMO kicks in, and some people are buying, but those who bought, they stop selling. They say, okay, maybe now we're really going to, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000. Or maybe Kramer says something. And this is the time when you start seeing divergences. You will see it on active addresses. You will see it actually, okay, we'll come back to minting of debt. Yeah, you will see it on transaction volumes. Yeah, it spikes somewhere, but then it goes down. It dies down. And yeah, even on velocity, it will start going down. Yeah, now we see opposite velocities picking up. So divergences is the name of the game. And I like to check on Ethereum itself, and also on the key tokens for Ethereum network, like, I don't know, Uniswap. Yeah, sometimes MakerDAO, sometimes Chainlink, depends. It should be quite liquid tokens with a lot of network activities. Another important thing that we should see eventually at some point of time minting of debt. It means people convinced, okay, we're going up. It's now cool time to go to do leverage or do rescue operations. And then it gets lower, like here, minting of debt, good, a little bit correction, minting of debt more, and then at the top, even though price is growing, they stop doing it, or they do one-time spike. We have not seen yet much, maybe because people are afraid of merge, I don't know. So this is a metric to be enjoyed with caution because of upcoming merge in 2 weeks. Who knows? Maybe this one means of debt will not work as usually, but still, I like watching it. Now, and of course, important thing would be see sentiment, and sentiment actually I like to watch it on Bitcoin based. As you know, we have weighted sentiment, which we measure based on the best results for me on Twitter communications. And as expected, we tend to go quite optimistic and then pessimistic in a different way of the market, but that was a little bit outlier, mostly because of high social volume, but it still stays the same. There will be some peak or some top value where market get optimistic, well, as much as it can. We just coming out of bear market, but then it's difficult to keep up, so we'll go down. But at the moment, we stay low enough to assume that, okay, there is more likely we'll go up on this negative market sentiment because people don't expect much. And this is where market likes to go. You don't expect it. Therefore, coming back to where we started, mid to long term, the dangers from the market of being more tight, less liquidity, and increasing rate hikes is not ruled out. Even the opposite, it's more likely it will cover even more. But short term, many conditions are met, we can keep going, in my opinion. In an Ethereum, I would expect probably, as always, not investment advice, but I think in our pro channel, I was mentioned level 1718. Let me see if I'm still with this. Yeah. somewhere here, 1.7, even, I'm not sure about 1.8, but 1.7, we should eventually revisit, kill some shots, this kind of things. So, long-term, short to mid-term, and then what else I wanted? Yeah, a few coins. It's even called new portfolio because we got exposure there. Just share what we have. We have Maker, ENS, iFi, Keeper, and Uni. With Maker is, of course, it's a risky bet, but still we stick to it. The good thing is the network activity. I like sometimes to look at the basic things without going into too much details. As long as network activity is stable, even growing, or even growing on falling prices, which is the best, we keep the risk. And this is what we've seen in Maker. The Maker environment is quite risky with all the decisions and how they deal with USDCs and going out of it. It looks quite good. And MVRV 30 days, it's also still negative. I mean, it's looks bad enough from fundamental sentiment and MVRV, so we like to keep it. Remember, we're contrarian. And behavior of big holders, it's a kind of not saying much, then a little bit decreasing. So we don't increase our position too. The moment we see, especially this line, 10 to 1,000 makers, if they start increasing, yeah, we might increase too, but they're not doing much, so we just keep it. And ENS, it's more interesting for us or for our kind of analysis. Just, because of fundamental reasons, it's the most established and young or older than Unstoppable Domains project. And its network activity was very healthy on the first way up. We picked on quite sizable 600, around 6,000 directive addresses, then slowly stopped on this level and even deviated on top. Again, this kind of divergences. And we did not go as low as 230. It's a kind of acceptable. The market cap is not too high, so you can accept these values. And there was not much hype recently. I didn't read much, and I like environment when it's fundamental reasons to believe in projects are good. There is not much hype, and network activity looks healthy, or as I would expect it to look, both on the way up and down. Okay, and also the behavior for token holders here is very good. You see this red line. Red line is those holding between 1,000 and 10,000 in this. And as you know, most airdrop was below 1,000, it was 800 something. So this is who most of people who really accumulating buying. Hasn't been doing it since this last drop, 21st of July, and ever since then, when they overcome the bearish fear, slowly, they start accumulating, and they accumulate into the fallen market, which is I like the most. They typically, big holders are buying early. They have no problems with holding to a fallen market, and they have not increased much yet. So they believe in ENS, but they have some sense of fear. I like this environment. So I'm just sharing the way how I usually look into things. And with that said, actually I would close for the moment and see if we have any questions or no questions yet. Cool. Have time or have a chance now to ask some questions, and we can discuss the other things. Otherwise, we can keep it short Friday, so that all of us can enjoy. Today is again good weather. I don't know how long will it last. Max, how do you usually announce it to collect? Maybe even we can analyze some tokens or whatever.
Yes, we usually ask for viewers to put some assets in chat that we can then.
Let's do it.
Feel free to do that now.
And feel free also to ask questions, because in 15 minutes, basically I said whatever I've been analyzing like in the last weeks. Maybe something is confusing or not explained in detail enough. We can go into details of a few other things.
Oh yeah, we now have the second person mentioning stablecoin analysis. So maybe we can have a look at DAI or some of the other stablecoins.
Yeah, we can. Typically, I prefer to prepare it because there are too many things. But there is one thing we like. Let me see. Dolphins. Somehow it's not on my. I have just wait a second. I just was checking too much. My creations. Okay. Let me see. Or at least USDT Dolphin be here. We can look. So USDT price. No. Oh, that's nice. Thanks for now. This is what I want to show, which adds to short, at least to short term. Okay, now it's too long time. Okay, let's say 1 year. What do we see on the screen? Just to keep it the same like other charts, let's keep price green and this metric. Some other color, I don't know. Let's keep it red. Good. So price is green. Red is balances, aggregated balances of those holding between 10 and 100,000 of USDT. What does it tell to us? What does it reveal? People who hold 10 to 1,000 USDT in their account, they will act in the following way. When they're convinced that the market is bullish, or it's right time now to switch from stable to some risk assets, this line will go down. Yeah. So they're kind of buying the dip. And you will see unmistakably how they've been massively buying the dip in January 22, when it was a bit too early. Now, no, sorry, other way around. Oh, I'm confusing. When they increase their balances, this is where they get starting to get scared. Yeah, and when they decrease balances, okay, USDT going out, something else coming inside. Yeah, they've been buying. They got scared a little bit generally, but then they've been buying the dip, actually diversifying also to other like USDC and DAI because of specifically USDT. And this has changed ever since real bottom or like at the moment bottom in July 22. They did got scared, at least to some degree. They became cautious. They don't reduce the USDT balances. And I will show maybe next week, I will put on top of it also USDC and DAI. You will see that balances of stable coins increasing, yeah, and been increasing even on a growing price. And they don't use it now to buy the dips. No, they stay in stables, which is a good sign. And it will be more visible if I take shorter term. Let's say 3 months. Yeah, this is what we really likes to see. Price going up, and at the same time, the holdings of stable coins going up too. So they don't deploy it yet. They think it's a good time, maybe exiting of their other positions of, I don't know what, some coins, risky coins, and accumulating stable coins. This is what you want to see. You see a wall of worry. It's a kind of teaser how we do usually stablecoin analysis. Yeah. And any questions, Maxim, or at least, or Max? At least I don't see much on the screen. USDC, DAI, USDT, Interact. What are your thoughts on flows between them? Yeah, there are flows, but again, I need to prepare this chat somehow. I don't find it so fast. Maybe if Gary will share, I can share it. You will see that there was first flow from USDT to USDC, and then DAI to. And lately, actually, I need to see what happened. Last week? There's been some interflow between DAI and USDC. There is a lot of activities. Actually, good request about stablecoin holders total crypto market cap. Yeah.
Maybe we can take a look at RAI, at the reflexer one that is free floating. Have you looked into that at all?
No, never looked into it. This one?
Yes, exactly.
So let's see. But it will show. Okay. Should I show the price of RAI, or what do you want Max to see?
I was wondering if maybe they had some inflow too from more centralized stablecoins, basically.
So we want to see price and total supply of RAI. Yeah? Oops. Market cap. Let's put it on a different one. And let's say it doesn't increase much, around 50 billion, yeah? Doesn't look like changing much. Unless the price is changing. No, actually the price is going down. So actually it's decreasing, I would say. Based on this one, you see that it was much higher. It was 32 billion, okay. And looks pretty stable. Even though, of course, you need to look in this case on a smaller scale. Okay, somehow this indicator doesn't. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Okay, a little bit increased. Yeah, a little bit increased. If we are already on this, we have some time. In a stable coins, what you want to see velocity, and you want to see it on the long term, because this is what says of utility of stable. Okay, sometimes they're really crazy. So velocity and circulation 1 day. Okay, in case of RAI, circulation is even more. Okay, yeah, it's a very, very active, quite active stable coin. Even though if we look into, for instance, if we look DAI on Ethereum, you will see that it's, oh wow, my goodness, it's velocity really. Okay, quite cool. I remember analysis we did some time ago, I think was DAI or some other stablecoins. It likes to grow, the market likes to grow when it's a little bit goes down velocity, because it's DAI for a very long time was the best indicator of see how market getting heated up, and as everything which is overheated, you need to cool down. And velocity was one of circulation, one of the easiest way to measure it, even though you need to apply a few other things, but it's quite good metrics. But it looks very. It had been surprisingly was overheated, but once again, in DAI it's a bit different because of recent events and all the decisions or discussions. So people must be just going out of DAI to reduce the risks. Okay, and USDT. Yeah, the circulation is not so sane, but did they increase the market cap? We went 83 all the way down to 65. Yeah, again, a little bit printed. Yeah, okay. Once again, we'll spend a bit more time on just on stablecoins in next week. I really like this analysis, but ad hoc is one thing, and if we spend, or I spend 1 day in advance to prepare, it will be even more deeper.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, well, looks like we don't have much questions. Maybe people satisfied. Well, this is what I want to see, or what I want to think. This is what we provided so far. And it covers all the requests and needs, which is nice, if it's true. But to sum up the things, long-term pain might come. Well, I would expect it's more likely most likely will come again. But for the moment, based on some crowd sentiment metrics, observations, and knowledge about the market, I think we probably need to squeeze some shorts and revisit 1718 in Ethereum, and then we see. Yeah, and then we see what happens next. If Kramer comes again and say, okay, Ethereum 6,000, okay, we have to leave the trade. And if he keeps quiet, okay, that's a good sign. I want him to keep quiet every time. He was a party killer already 2 times lately. It's really every time he says something good about crypto, I feel pity because yeah, everything looks so good before he comes out. Yeah. Good, Max. If there are no other questions, sometimes I like to keep things short. It's fine. Also, for those who revisit and watch it later, it will be easy watch, just 25 minutes.
Yeah, let's wrap it up for today. That's okay, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, everyone, and have a most pleasant and great weekend coming. And let's see if next week we're sitting here and we will check, did we get to 1718 maybe or not? Or maybe much higher. Or maybe much lower. We'll see it. Good. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.